Hi, this is Sobh here. So you may have this question: what is special about this course? Why this course? What is inside this course? Right? So let me just first show you what is inside this course and how this course is different. First of all, what is inside this course? So when you enroll, you get access to all these different modules. So let us start with the Excel automation module. So let me open the Excel automation module and show you what is inside. See, Excel automation module, if you look at Excel automation module, start with the introduction, understanding the what is BI, understanding the BI framework. You have all the project files inside, and then it will teach you how do you use Excel BI to get data from different sources, and then how do you use Power Query to connect to different data sources and import the data, understand everything about Power Query in detail, and then start using Power Query for data transformation. So you have a lot of content that help you understand very practically how to use Power Query for the data transformation. So if you look at here, these are the videos, and I explain you with very practical examples how to use Power Query for the data transformation. And then moving on, you learn what is data modeling. You learn understand how to build your data model in the finance, and the different schemas, and how do you use what is fact table, dimension tables, and then we move on to the reporting and DAX. See, for reporting and DAX, we are going to build we are going to learn how to use the DAX to build the reports. And you will be building more than 10 plus reports at the end. And if you look at here from 34 to video 80, it's all about reporting, and you will be building a number of reports. So let me show you the reporting pack. So you'll be building this reporting pack, um, using Excel MIS automation. The data comes from different sources. There are a number of sources the data comes from. So let me show you the different sources here. And you'll be building reports like commercial summary, budget versus actual, sales trend, revenue mix, inventory, P&L. You'll be building OPEX analysis, price volume analysis, forecast, dynamic forecast scenarios. And as you can see, the data is coming from different sources, and you are not working with a very sample or a simple data set, right? You are working with the sets like your product data, product GST data, GL data, forecast data, chart of accounts. So, like how a finance professional approach problem solving in real world scenario, it's exactly how you are going to use, how you are going to learn using Excel to build Excel automation models, right? And the entire reports, if you look at here, there's a lot of analysis here. Commercial summary, analyzing the high level commercial performance, sales budget versus actual, analyzing the budget versus actual, run rate and trajectory analysis, and year over year analysis, sales trend analysis compared to the Q4 performance, revenue mix analysis, by product, by different categories, by month. So there's a lot of analysis on the revenue mix, inventory risk analysis to analyze which inventories are not moving, uh, to immediately identify the risk. And you'll be building the end-to-end P&L from revenue to EBITDA to income, net profit, and then you start analyzing this, the variances. So, you do the analysis on why there is a drop in the revenue. Is it because of the order? Is it because of the price changes? And then you do the price volume analysis for that, and very advanced level analysis. And then you move to the OPEX analysis to understand why your EBITDA is dropping, right? What is the issue with the EBITDA? Is it because of the OPEX impact? So you do a detailed analysis on the operating expenses, right? There's a lot of analysis on OPEX expenses, and again OPEX ratio analysis to understand the different ratios, right? So here monthly OPEX performance. So these are the in this is the deep dive that you'll be doing when you build this commercial pack, and then you will learn how to build your dynamic forecast scenarios. When you are using a driver based forecasting, like how do you build your automated best case, conservative worst case. Now let me tell you, if you have to maintain this every month, right, an entire pack like this manually using Excel VLOOKUP, sum ifs, and the normal Excel functions, you'll be easily spending 20 to 30 hours to maintain this, right? Validate, fix errors every month to manage the data sources, data changes, fixing the ranges, right? So now this entire pack is fully automated, and all that you do is just refresh, change the source data, refresh here, and the entire data model here is going to do the magic. So we have a very strong schema, uh, and model already working in the backend to automate this end to end. So let me show you that. So here, this entire model is doing the automation in the backend, right? Now, not only that, you will be learning how to automate your DAX calculations. So you will be building a lot of calculations. At the end of it, you will be definitely be able to solve any complex problems when you work in roles like FP&A, finance, and reporting, right? See, building an end-to-end pack like this requires advanced level knowledge and skills, and that is exactly what you are going to learn in this program, right? When you enroll, and this is what we will be covering in our 10 days sessions, right? So now, but what if actually you are someone who are just starting out? You are not really confident to use Excel, and that is why I have all these other modules created for you, right? So if you look at here, it starts from the level one. So what is level one? So level one starts with if you go to the content, it starts with entering data, formatting data, working with data like filtering, sorting, finding, replace, clean and transform data. And the way you're going to learn all this is by solving problems. I'm not going to teach you any theory. You'll be solving problems. And let me show you. So if you go to the level two, you go to the level two here, look at here, level two, you have the project files here. See, you're going to solve the problems by solving scenarios. So I'm going to give you challenges. I'm going to give you scenarios, and I'm going to give you the problems, right? From very basics like joining two text and creating a full name column, right? And then you learn text functions like I will ask you to extract the location, extract the employee ID, how to do dynamic extract. You move on to date function challenges, and then you move on to number function challenges and lookup functions challenges, and you learn. I'm not going to teach you like what is XLOOKUP, VLOOKUP. I will give you the real problems that you face at work, like which employee has the highest travel amount. And these problems may not be direct. You have to really think through and solve these problems. And I will show you how, as an analyst, I would solve this approach. I would approach and solve these problems, right? What is the total employee count for Bangalore? And then you learn how to use XLOOKUP to populate manager name, and then how to use XLOOKUP with the wildcard. How many people are under leader Deepesh Jain? So this is a question that you get, and then you need to start solving it, right? So and then you move on to logical functions, and then you start building scenarios. You learn how to build forecast scenario 2, forecast scenario 3, and then forecast scenario 5, 6. So you learn how to build scenarios, and then you learn how to summarize the data using pivot tables. And again, pivot table problems, you will be solving a lot of problems like problem 11, 12, 13, 14, right? Like other expenses total and percentages for 2023, right? And then I ask you to calculate like what is the percentage count of employees by location, right? And then you will build a budget versus actual for a real IT MNC project. And then I will teach you MIS report, why to use functions, and then how do you create a summary. So there's a lot of content here, like how do you use filter and average to calculate grand total average, requirement analysis to report structure. So how do you analyze your requirements till you build the report structure, and then Power Query, designing and validation of report, requirement analysis, understanding KPI and calculations. So how do you structure your report? So all these things, entire MIS pack, exactly like an experienced analyst would do in an MNC. This is how you are going to learn, right? And then you will learn how to build the dashboard. And then I will explain you in an MNC how do you approach dashboard building process, right? Right from client requirements, understanding client requirements, building a wireframe, and then summarizing your data, storyboard, charts, which chart to choose, okay, design principles and everything you are going to learn at the end of level 2. And this module, by end of this module, you'll be really strong working with functions, reporting and dashboards. And then you move on to learning advanced dashboards. So this is basically level 3 is all about advanced dashboards. So what you will learn is how do you build a dashboard that works based on the user login, meaning you will create a dashboard and then individual user login and password. So if there are 20 managers, the managers A will be, when manager A logs in, he or she will be able to view only his or her dashboard. So you will learn how to build these dashboards, how to analyze the KPIs, and then how do you analyze the requirements, and then you will build the access control setup and everything here by end of level 2. So this will challenge your logical thinking process. We are not using any coding here. It's all about logically solving the problem. And once you complete level 2, level 3, and then you will move on to level 4. and level 4 is here. So in level 4 you will learn the Excel for the finance. So basically you will be preparing your P&L report, income statement, and then you will be doing a lot of analysis like vertical analysis, horizontal analysis, trend analysis, budget versus actual for OPEX, forecasting dynamic scenarios. Solve a lot of scenarios like best case scenarios, goal seek, data table solver, and all these different you know tools you will be using for sensitivity analysis in this module. And after that, only you will be moving to the level 5. See, there is level 5, which is MIS Excel automation that I showed you previously, right? So depending on which level you are in, which level you are comfortable with, you can start. There is no hard and fast rule that you only should start from level one. Level one. Okay. So once you complete this, then you will move to the Power BI Sales Analytics module. So which where I will teach you how to use Power BI to build the visualization. See, when we connect the 10 days live workshop, right? What we will be doing is we will be building the MIS report, automated MIS reports in Excel, and we will be moving that MIS report, or we will be importing that model to Power BI, and then we use start Power BI for start building our visualizations. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn inside the uh, Power BI. So Power BI, you have actually the content here from user interface reporting, all that, right? So you will be using a Power BI for building the data visualizations using sales analytics examples. Okay, so this is what you will be um, you will be building when you are part of this program. Okay, so let me take you back, and then we have the weekly connects, and you have the placement preparation modules here, and then you also have the live connect recordings here, right? Whenever we connect on live for the 10-day sessions, all the recordings will be available here. And then we have the weekly live Q&A. So every week we connect, we discuss about what's happening in the finance. I will also help you to clarify your doubts, questions about the program content, right? So you can ask the questions, you can bring real world problems from your problems from the work to me for solutioning. So this is what we do actually, and then all the recordings will be available here whenever we are doing any specific topic, right? It will be available here. So this is what you will be getting when you enroll. So I wanted to give you an idea why this program is different and what you are getting inside when you enroll. Okay. So I hope this helps. So please go through the other details, and if you find this helpful, please do enroll, and I'll see you inside. Thank you so much.